earlier we showed the story of the consortium of NGOs that were protesting the reintroduction or introduction of GMOs in Kenya and are planning to actually take the government to court on this particular matter. And we have someone who was actually on the streets earlier today, and that is Helen Ngema, and she is from the Community Development Program, SACTEP. Thank you for joining us. And Dr. Joel Ochieng, and he is, of course, involved in managing and even developing GMO products. And so I'll start with you, Helen. You are on the streets. Why are you against GMOs?
We are against GMO because the GMO is not beneficial to farmers. GMO produces, especially BT maize, toxins that are not only toxins to the stem borer, right, but also to the human beings. And we believe, or it has been tested, it will erode the immunity of our system. As such, will not respond to medication. Right. Medication, antibiotics such as amoxicillin. So we are likely to have depressed immunity, similar to HIV.
Right. And that is, of course, concerns to the health of the consumer and the concerns towards the farmer. We have Dr. Joel Ochieng. He's actually been working on a product that you've mentioned, BT maize, for 4 years. Yeah. And she says that this will depress the immunity of humans or the consumer.
Yeah, I think generally this is a matter based on lack of understanding, utter lack of scientific understanding about this product and the process. The BT maize that we talk about cannot depress immunity. And one, she's making a statement that is blatantly untrue scientifically. Anybody who has gone to basic biology classroom would say this is not true. What happens is that the toxin produced by maize, by use of BT, a gene from BT that enables the maize to produce the toxin, that toxin is toxic only to stem borer. It is target specific because the insect gut has receptors that make this toxin be able to kill it.
Right.
Humans and other mammals do not have the receptor.
Right.
So there is no mechanism for that to occur.
Helen says that the scientific proof.
I disagree with that because I have not seen it being tested and approved. Because the cuticle of the larvae of insect, it is almost similar to human. So if it's affecting that cuticle, it's not because I don't know biology. I know. Have you had any risk assessment on humans and brought your report, and we know the level of toxicity? Have you? Because another thing is, we take maize as food crop, as our staple food. Yeah. Americans use it as a second feeding from animal feed. And that toxin, the body can naturally degrade it, which is liver. And the liver will have a problem of functioning. Right. So that is a problem.
Has it been tried and tested?
Yes. You say that I think the best thing is to display the evidence. This is a paper by Society of Toxicology. Toxicologists are the people who have the competence to comment on the toxicity of any product on humans and the environment. And I don't want to read. I give it to you to read in case yourself.
You can actually hand it over to her. She wants
Can you read that yourself? That is the position paper.
I will read the other. I will read the other time. But what I know...
We want Kenyans to know the truth.
Yes. That toxin is biodegradable by human being. How much are we taking? Americans are not eating this maize. The animals are feeding. We are feeding it. The level of toxicity is high.
Helen, when you say that the level of toxicity is high and this is harmful to the consumer, is this from what you have observed and monitored in other countries?
Reports are there. The only thing, when I was called here, it was a short notice.
Yes.
I will have
what have you?
I will have brought my version.
Yes.
Of notes.
But what do you know generally in terms of the effect that it has to humans? Because this is what
the effect it has to human beings. Any antibiotic from any bacteria toxin is antibiotic. And an antibiotic, if you feed on that antibiotic all the time, you can't respond to other antibiotics. And even though you take other medicine, you can't respond to it.
Yes. He laughs in a way to disagree. You say that this BT maize is going through the process to be certified or given the nod. What stage is it at?
Now, what happens that this BT maize
that you are developing
was developed in the laboratory. It went through the test of the laboratory, toxicity tests.
Here in Kenya?
Yes, it went through field trials, where again it is tested against its effect on insects, other non-target insects, as well as the target insect, that's the stalk borer. And the results are perfect. It kills the stalk borer only. The other insects are left there alive.
Yes. Who peer-reviewed your research? When was that results brought? Because Kenyan consumers have a right for participation, have a right to access to information. Is it only you? Are you making it in the laboratory of 4 walls alone? We are consumers. Which framework, which forum have you tested and involved? I've not seen it involved anywhere. I work with farmers on day-to-day basis.
Now, what happens is this.
Yeah.
In science, where apparently you don't seem to know about the traditions of science.
No, I know. Why do you think so?
Just wait.
Why do you want to question?
When you talk about peer review.
Yeah, your peer review are your other scientists.
Yes.
And other scientists cannot be biased on your only school of thought. You get other scientists to question it.
Yes.
Otherwise, we just think it was just what?
Now, can you read that first?
I can't read this.
I believe her concern is that this is quite an exclusive type of research.
Yeah.
And of course, it's research and you're developing
something. Let me just interrupt you.
So it's done by the experts first.
Let me interrupt you.
Yes.
This process of developing any genetic modification is not exclusive. It's a process that includes the National Biosafety Authority. It includes all the regulatory agencies. It includes the Institutional Biosafety Committee.
You are lying.
Now, wait a minute.
Why do you say so?
I'm educating you. The IBC, which is Institutional Biosafety Committee, comprises scientists, technologists, the community representative.
So
now,
tell us, who is this community representative who rubber-stamped this BT maize to be introduced? Because we work with large stakeholders or smallholder farmers, and there is no government agency on smallholder farmers in Kenya. Yes. It has all been commercial corporations. I don't know which corporations did you use to engage farmers.
If I hear you right, Helen, it is the concern that those stakeholders that you've mentioned, they're more biased and one-sided, favoring this particular BT maize product.
And just to introduce on the procedure, on his procedure, I know he's quoting Cartagena Protocol, which gave you 270 days. To educate the public, to create awareness, and to ask the public to participate.
You're very right.
On the other hand, you are asking the public to participate. When they are ignorant, how do you fight with unarmed farmers? They even don't know what it is.
Yes.
And then the second thing about GMO maize. GMO.
Can you talk about BT maize?
BT maize is its DNA has been modified with the bacteria. In a layman's language, I want to talk because most farmers are watching me. They don't want those scientific long words, but it's like a marriage between bacteria and maize,
yes,
which we believe as Kenyans who are the people of the book, Muslims and Christians, is unethical. We like the GMO, which is germoplasm of maize.
Let's give them a chance to respond to this particular
we know the germoplasm of maize, but this idea of you introducing bacteria to maize which will not produce seed, that is the secret. So in Kenya, we don't have laboratories, we don't have capacity to produce that maize to feed the population. So what will happen is they are rushing to introduce it so that the producer of that maize, GMO or BT maize, is going to have the license is expiring within the course of next year. So what will happen is he wants to introduce the maize so that he can earn loyalty in Kenya. Right. So it's like contamination of BT maize to other maize farmers like baby corn farmers who are horticulturists.
Let's give him a chance to be fair to respond to this particular
first thing,
concern.
my friend, I think it's important that I inform Kenyans of various things first. The first fact is that there is no issue of royalty, because first, the BT that we are using, the gene that we are using, is a royalty-free product. Two, BT is a bacterium that is safe, just like the ones that are in our tummies. It is of safe use. Just a minute. I'm a scientist, so you just listen when I'm talking. It is a bacterium that has undergone use for several decades, safe use. The problem is that when I give you evidence, read, you don't read. So how else will I convince you?
I will read. I will read. You
read that
go with your file.
Yes. Okay, this is something that we can read off camera because of time. Okay. The other notion, and she's brought it up, is that there's some multinationals who, and there's this force that is behind you to push this to benefit international multinationals in this particular reintroduction of GMOs.
Now, what happens is this. This BT maize is a product that we have developed here locally, that will be grown in Kenya, that nobody in the world has any claim to. It will be used by Kenyans for free. Not seeds are free, but I mean the technology is for free. That's, we call it royalty free. And there is no multinational behind pushing for this. In fact, if anything, the multinationals are disappointed because we are developing a local product, yet Kenya was supposed to be earmarked as a dumping market.
So when the DP says that by the end of October, the ban on GMOs will be lifted, does this mean it will be open to just Kenyan local production, or it will be open to multinationals?
Remember the ban concerned importation and consumption
so it's being
of
lifted.
GM.
Yes.
Now, for us to deploy this to the fields, the ban has to be lifted.
Why?
And for us to place in the market, the ban has to be lifted.
Yes.
Because why else would I grow maize if I cannot eat it?
The doubts that were there when the ban was imposed, and that is mostly to the health of the consumers and to the well-being of the farmers, has it been proven wrong?
It has been proven dead wrong that the single publication that informed this ban is by a group of scientists led by one called Gilles Eric Seralini in France. This publication has been withdrawn because it was found to be, first, erroneous, two, based on fabricated data, and three, and worst for scientists, based on misinterpreted data. Right. I have the evidence here.
Now, let me ask you, Daktari, is really the stem borer an issue for Kenyan farmer, for maize? Because, as far as I know, you based on CIMIT report 1998. Which was rating ecological zones in Kenya, and stem borer, it was coming very low. It's only in coast and highlands, and it was only 1.5 million bags of stem borer. Climate change, drought is the issue, contributing to maize loss of 50. Why, as you scientists, if you want to really help smallholder farmers, you have hybrids, you have other crops. Why do you want to come to this dangerous maize that is going to contaminate everything? Because our system is open pollinated system.
Right.
Now, just to respond to that first. One, she's talking about she's diverting me from the issue.
I'm not
because
diverting
wait a minute.
You had an objective.
Yes.
You had an objective to help farmers control stock borer. That's why you decided to produce that maize.
True.
So
but I'm saying, first,
that report is an opinion of 30 districts, and stem borer was not mentioned as an issue. So we cannot have scientists doing research which is not market oriented, which is not going to help us smallholder farmer, and then you're using taxpayers' money, you're using funding from outside, even sometimes from those.
All right, we've run out of time. We've run out of time, but and as you respond, we've run out of time. But in terms of seeing this come to effect, because the ban is supposedly being lifted at end of October.
Yes.
But your BT maize, which is the first testing, and I'm told there's work on cotton as well.
Yeah, sure.
That this will take time before it is actualized in Kenya. What is the time frame we're looking at?
Now, what happens is that the ban will be lifted before November.
So he's going to
just give me time when I talk. I'm a professor and you didn't respect me. Now, what happens is this. I gave you time to talk.
All right, continue.
Now, what happens is this. The ban will be lifted, and once it's lifted, the ban is an independent issue from the application for environmental release that has been placed. There are two independent issues. Once the application has been approved, then it will go to what we call national performance trial.
Right.
And after that, it will be deployed to the farms. But I think we ran out of the safety issue that I was trying to address, which is not fair.
Yes.
Because the issue for Kenyans today is about safety. Some of those people who genuinely fear GM is about safety. Now, this has been clarified and it has been put to rest. We have even had the Kenya Medical Association voice their support and say that toxicity tests indicate these things are safe.
All right.
Now, stock borer is a problem to Kenyans, and Kenyans are here watching somebody claiming that stock borer is not a problem.
No, it's just one of a minor problem. The problem of smallholder farmers in Kenya, in 30 districts in that CIMIT report, which informed you to start doing this research, is about climate change, drought, and weeds.
These are drought-tolerant maize.
All
you know
right.
that?
It's
BT put on a drought-tolerant background.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Now,
So I'm not sure
this is definitely discussion that won't end in the next few minutes.